Hey YouTube, it's Justin, aka Demonic Sweaters, here with an update with my homemade conversion electronic drum set here. This thing has gone through several different iterations. If you've been following my channel, you've probably seen a lot of those. And right now, I think I am actually done, finally. I may get a couple cymbals or maybe a couple little additions, but the core kit is pretty much how it's going to stay, I think, at this point. That's not true. I'll probably add a few more things. But anyway, I'm going to tell you what I have so far. So I'm really happy with this build at this point. It started out with an Alesis Nitro module way back a few months ago. You might have seen those videos. And the first attempt was pretty miserable. And then after that, I figured some things out and got it to work a little bit better. Then I upgraded to a Roland TD-17 module, which was really nice. And I had that for a few months and I was pretty happy with it. But then I kept seeing these other deals and I ended up upgrading to a Roland TD-8 module, which was actually for the time a pretty nice module that came out back in the late 90s. And I still have that module, and I still do really like the TD-8 module. I think it's a great module. But I've been eyeing the TD-17 for several months now, and then I was like, you know, if I want to write this thing off as a business expense, then I have to do that before the end of the year. So I went ahead and picked one up, and now I am really blown away with the quality of the Roland TD-17 drum module on this drum kit. So I just wanted to share with you guys basically how the kit is right now, and a couple things that I wanted to note, differences between the TD-17 and the TD-8. The TD-8 has actually, believe it or not, still has more professional features than the TD-17 does as far as drum editing. It has more samples inside of it. It has more physical outputs on the module. It has like a graphic, you know, or a physical level adjustment with like actual faders. So it has a lot of stuff that this one actually doesn't have. However, the sound quality of the TD-17 is just much, much better. And plus the TD-17 has a few features that the TD-8 doesn't have. Such as you can actually use the TD-17 as a USB audio interface, which I did not know until I actually picked it up. And that's a really, really awesome feature. And what I mean by that is you can actually plug this thing into your computer via USB and not only control MIDI, but you can actually have this be your audio interface, so you get a purely digital audio signal out from the module to your computer into something like Ableton Live, which is what I'm doing. And you can even use ASIO for all drivers with this module. So it works basically just like a regular audio interface, and you can even send audio back to it from Ableton Live. And there's a little mixer within the module where you can adjust your levels, your monitoring level and your recording level for the actual module itself. So that is a really, really awesome feature. It actually allows me to take away one piece of equipment that I had here before, which was an audio interface. And then it also has USB out for MIDI, like I said before, and you can also even load your own samples into it, which I haven't done yet, but the option is there. Now I've programmed two custom kits so far on it, and you know me, I like to program my own kits. I don't really like playing presets that much, but there are some decent presets in here though. But I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the two presets that I created so far. There's only two of them, and I haven't posted them for download yet because I wanted to make some more before I share them with you guys, but I'm gonna try to get at least like 10 kits, and then I'll share a file with you guys that can download and load onto your TD-17 if you have one at home. But anyway, so, a couple other things. If you haven't seen some of those other videos, I have VH11 hi-hats, I have a Roland CY8 for a crash, a Lemon 3-zone ride cymbal, and this was an incredible deal on this ride cymbal. It works really well, especially with this module. It looks almost just like the Roland ones, except this was $140 as opposed to $349. And if you want, check out my video on the Lemon Ride cymbal with information of where you can find those. And then I have two single-zone Pintec crashes, well, a splash and a crash here that I'm still using for my outer crashes there. The one thing that I didn't realize at first when I got the module, there's this button on there that kind of locks zones together. And what I mean is if you're using a 2-zone crash like that CY8 there, and I want to adjust the sound on it, you can push this button, or by default the button is pushed, that when you change samples, it changes both zones at the same time. Now, since that was selected by default, when I was trying to adjust my samples on my single zone cymbals, I was only getting like tip sounds, like top of the cymbal sounds, and I'm hitting the edge, and I'm like, what's going on? And then every time I would try to select one, it would just skip over it. I'd be like, well, that's really annoying. Do I have to use a 2-zone cymbal on here? But then I figured out all I have to do is press that little button, and then it allows me to select whichever sound I want for any zone on the cymbal. So that was one thing that I had to figure out. Also, how to adjust volumes independently on the zones. That same button has to be unchecked, which is called, actually, let me see what that's called. Can't remember. I have to turn it on. And actually, this module takes a little bit longer to boot up and to shut down than the older Roland modules that I had. Let's see here. So if we go to, oh yeah, so it's just basically if you go into a sign and there's a little, down in the lower left of the screen, it says H and R on. So just uncheck that. That just means head and rim. Uncheck that, and then you can adjust your volumes and your zones independently without having to worry about adjusting them both at the same time. And even when I compare the sounds in the TD-17 to say like the TD-27 and the TD-50 of like other videos, a lot of times I find myself preferring the TD-17 to those, even though I know those modules can sound really, really good too if you take the time to program the sounds into them and stuff and do some editing. But the TD-17 is right up there with the best of them. In fact, this is the same module that ships with the VAD series. So if you buy like the VAD, I think it's a 306 and the 503 and 506 Roland, you know, their acoustic size drum sets, they all come with the TD-17 module. So that shows you right there that Roland, you know, they actually believe in this module as well. So anyway, let me go ahead and play some drums. So here we go. Okay, this is the first custom kit that I created on the TD-17, and I'm just calling this one Studio 1. First, I'll play it with the ambience turned off. Okay, this is the second one that I created, and this one's just called Studio 2. All right, let's go back to Studio 1 and turn the ambience on. Just a little past 12 o'clock. right, back to Studio 2 with ambience on, and I really like this one with the ambience on. Anyway, those are my 2 custom kits that I programmed so far on the TD-17, and I think it's really, really awesome. I really love how this thing sounds, and I can't wait to record some music with it. So there'll definitely be some videos like that coming pretty soon. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe, click like, and the bell icon so you get notified every time I upload new content. And hopefully you guys are having a good holiday season, and I'll see y'all really soon. Take care. Later.